So I already got a top 5 designer list out for spring. Let's go ahead and roll with top 5 niche.
I finally found what I'm missing, and now you got all my attention. Driving me wild, got me wishing that you were all mine. You're irresistible, so refreshing. You're irresistible, tell the essence. Can feel your energy all over me. Close my eyes and I breathe in. You're irresistible.
What's up, fam? It's Cam and welcome back to CFR. We're gonna go ahead and zip through these niche fragrances as quick as we did the designers because I don't want to take up too much of your time. But there's a couple little gems in here. You know, spring is that transition time, so these have actually a lot of personality versus the designer picks that I had. I try to cover the bases from both ends of the spectrum, whether it be you wanting to have something super out there that still works in the heat or just something super versatile. The first fragrance meets somewhere in the middle. This one is from Juicebox, Cheeky Smile. This is one that some people said had kind of a Baccarat Rouge 540 vibe to it. I don't even need to get in that spiel. You guys know about the BR 540. Everybody thinks that everything smells like BR 540. This definitely is a very unique fragrance. It has a lot of aroma chemicals in it that make it unique and also makes it project like a beast. This one has ISO E Super, it has Cashmeran, it also has Amber Extreme. So this one is gonna have like that type of, I don't know, that nuance maybe of BR 540 with something completely different going on. It does have a freshness, but it also has a depth about it. It leaves an amazing scent trail behind it, and it has potent sillage. I mean, like a huge scent bubble, so go easy on the trigger. Cheeky Smile was actually inspired by the 80s acid houses in London where people were raving and had all the neon lights and just, you know, partying down. So this presentation is really cool to me. It has a glow-in-the-dark bottle. If you're into, you know, unique presentations with the glow-in-the-dark cap, glow-in-the-dark bottle, even the box that it comes in has a side on it that glows in the dark. If you're looking to step your game up in the spring to wear something unique that you can still get away with in the warmer weather, if you want to stand out a little bit, I would definitely try out Cheeky Smile. The next fragrance is definitely a transition fragrance for sure, out of that colder weather into the warm, that has some nice personality that is beloved. It has pineapple, bergamot, apple, black currant, and oud. Yes, it's Tiziana, Terenzi, Orion. Aventus definitely would be a perfect transition fragrance for spring, and as Aventus is a good year-round fragrance, so is Orion. They added a little bit of depth with some oud and some other darker nuances with this one. Some people fuss about the longevity and performance of Aventus. If that seems to be an issue for you, I would recommend trying this. This is an extrait de parfum and also has oud. So it's going to be a little bit deeper. It's going to be a little bit richer. It's going to last a little longer maybe, just depending on what skin type you have. For me, honestly, I mean, Aventus does great on me, but that added oud and darkness does, you know, give it a little different twist. You know, if you've been wearing Aventus forever, you love that DNA, you want to change it up just a little bit, you might want to give Orion a try. Okay, so we went from Aventus and oud to Marine and oud. I am talking about Bond No. 9's Shelter Island. What can I say? This, I'm not the hugest fan of Bond No. 9 fragrances. There are some that I like. Please don't get it wrong. But there are some that are just like, meh, meh, meh. You know, they don't really excite me. This one actually excited me. You've got the depth of the oud. You've got some nice marine notes in here. It opens with black pepper. It has some citrus zest. And then you have oud, musk, and sandalwood. There are some other notes, but those are the primary notes that you're gonna get. This one dries down really, really nice. Definitely unisex. I can see a woman or a man easily wearing this. I think if it was on a man, it would smell masculine. If it was on a woman, it would smell feminine. Whichever way you want to roll with it, it would definitely work. If you want to, you know, stand out, if you want to be unique, if you want to be, you know, wearing something that probably nobody around you is going to be wearing, I would definitely check Shelter Island out. It's definitely easy to say that this is not your typical warm weather fragrance. The next fragrance actually had been on my radar a while back. I had a 10 ml decant of it. I used it up. I was like, I'm definitely going to buy that at some point, and I just got around to buying it. As some of you may know, the Twisted Lily is closing down, and they had a heck of a sale, or they might still be having it, just depending on when this airs. I don't know what they have left, but the pickings are getting slim. But I got in on it immediately as soon as I heard the news, and I picked up 8 Bob Nuit de Megeve. Now this fragrance right here is, whew, if you like vetiver fragrances, you will adore this fragrance. When I got this fragrance, I wore it 5 days straight, day and night. I could not get enough. I know you probably can't see it because it's a dark bottle, but I have already put a very significant dent in this. I normally wear numerous fragrances throughout the week, always test driving anything I can for review. I couldn't get enough of this. This is going to be a problem. Lucky for me, I did get 30% off of this fragrance. If you go to 8 Bob's website or anywhere where they carry their fragrances, where you find this fragrance, if you read the story about it, it's not what you would expect. You know, when you see like cloves and here, you know, by a fireplace and, you know, all that sort of thing, I thought this was going to be like a really dark and, you know, like rich and luscious fragrance. It's not. It is very, very wearable. It sits kind of close to the skin. It doesn't have like insane performance, but it does put off just like, I don't know, there's just something well-rounded. It has almost like a creaminess about it. Vetiver is listed as one of the base notes, but that's something that you're going to get from top, mid to bottom. You're also going to get petitgrain in the opening. There also has some grapefruit. It has some clove buds, tobacco, moss, coffee. I mean, you get a little tiny hint of that coffee in there. You definitely get just a smidge of those cloves in there. Now, I know a lot of you do not like clove or clove buds. This is not going to be an issue with this at all. It has just a tiny little bit of depth, a little bit of spice to that earthy vetiver. It just adds a little bit of spice to a semi-earthy vetiver. You know, some vetiver can be, you know, a little more sharp, and then some of it's a little dirtier. This is just like slightly earthy. I actually went through a phase of like trying different vetiver fragrances. This is by far, beyond the shadow of a doubt, the best vetiver fragrance I've ever smelled, and you can easily rock this out for spring. This isn't exactly like a casual fragrance. It would be more of a fragrance that you would wear, you know, like an outing, a special event, a date. You could get away with wearing like a t-shirt and a sports jacket, or you could go ahead and dress it all the way up with suspenders, a tux, a vest, whatever. This is a very, very classy fragrance, but it does not smell dated. It doesn't smell like an older gentleman's fragrance. I think, you know, somebody to their mid to late 20s and on up would probably prefer this fragrance. But if you're 18 and you think that sounds good, sample this. It is a sexy, sexy beast. If you're looking to sample today's fragrance, go to www.myfragrancesamples.com. Enter our discount code CFR15 to get 15% off. If they don't have the fragrance that we're reviewing today, check. They have hundreds of brands, hundreds of choices, a free sample every time you order, lightning fast shipping, excellent customer service. If you find it cheaper somewhere else, let them know. They have a price match guarantee. Go to www.myfragrancesamples.com. Coming in at number 1 is actually a fragrance that as soon as I smell it, it just invokes spring. I'm talking about green Irish tweed. When you think about things coming into bloom, when you think about things being fresh and renewed, which is kind of like, winter is kind of a cleansing, so to speak, and then spring is kind of like, everything being reborn, animals coming out of hibernation, buds blooming, flowers blooming, grass growing, so you gotta get back on the lawnmower and all that good stuff. But this is a staple that has been in people's collections since 1985, and for good reason. This sexy little monster right here is the epitome of spring. If you've not smelled green Irish tweed for some reason, you really should. This one has lemon, verbena, violet leaves, peppermint, and sandalwood is some of the notes. It is a creamy fragrance. It's a green fragrance. It's a masculine fragrance. It's a seductive fragrance. It is that, like I said before, just like strutting out on the red carpet. This is one of my all-time favorite Creed fragrances, and I'm probably not alone because it's been on men's shelves since 1985. So that's a little insight to what I'm gonna be wearing this spring. Obviously I'll be wearing others, but these were ones that I felt were unique and brought something a little bit different to the table from whichever spectrum you're coming from. Until next time, be disruptive, wear what you want, when you want, have fun. Subscribe to Carolina Fragrance Reviews, activate that notifications bell, smash that like button, leave us some comments down below. We'll see you next time on Carolina Fragrance Reviews. Coming in at number 1 is actually at number 1 because when I think of this fragrance, I automatically think spring. And those of you who know anything about, like Irish spring and clean as a whistle? Green Irish tweed. But no, it does not smell like Irish spring at all. But when you think that, that was the Old Spice thing, wasn't it? What do they say on Irish spring?
Fresh and clean as
these nuts.